everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making some chocolate shortbread, but I'm going to be using a cookie press to press them out onto the baking sheets. This is a new cookie press that I'm trying out. It seemed to get a good write-up, so I thought I'd give it a go. Now, for the ingredients, you need 220 grams of plain flour, 170 grams of butter at room temperature, quite soft, 100 grams of sugar, and I'm using golden caster sugar, 30 grams of cocoa powder, 1 egg, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I put the vanilla extract in with the egg already. So the first thing to do is to, I've also put 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt in the flour. First thing to do is to sift the cocoa powder into the flour, because cocoa powder tends to be quite lumpy and you don't want the lumps. As you can see, there's quite a few lumps there. Okay, now I've also heated the oven to 190 Celsius, 170 fan, which is 380 Fahrenheit. So we will whisk our cocoa powder into the flour just to mix it in a bit. Like that. That's all we need to do for that. Then the next thing to do is to cream our butter and then add the sugar and cream it again with the sugar. So we'll do the butter first. Then we'll add the sugar. And we'll cream it again. And then we'll add the egg and the vanilla extract. And scrape down the bowl. Okay, so then we can add the flour, and I'm going to add this maybe in 3 goes. Start it slowly so the flour doesn't go everywhere. Add some more. And add the remainder. I'm going to scrape down the bowl again, because there's some dry flour at the bottom that we want to get incorporated. One last mix. Okay, and that's it. So now our mixture is ready to go into the cookie press. Now for these biscuits, you don't need to grease your baking tray and you don't need to line the baking tray. In fact, the booklet which comes with the press expressly says do not grease it or line it. So I'm just going to pull this all together. And then we take our cookie press and we unscrew it. And I've already put one little plate into the base. Here's the other plates. They come in packs of plates, so you can choose the pattern of cookie that you want. So I'm going to screw that on. Then I'm going to release the top. And we're going to put our cookie dough in here. I'm going to get a spoon to do that. It's actually almost good enough to do like that. Almost. And this mixture should make about 72, apparently. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So that's enough dough in there for the time being. I'm going to screw that back on. And just by pressing down, I'm compressing it and I can see it start to come out of the bottom there. So, I'll take a baking tray. And the first one, actually, I'm going to do in here because it may not come out very well. That's it, and then we'll do the rest here. Press down, lift up, press down, lift up, press down, lift up. And then you can at any time take the plate off put another one on. So I've done 2 trays, and for some of them I gave it a double click to make larger ones to see what they would come out like. The pattern's not quite so defined, but we'll see. We'll see how they actually bake. So now I'm going to put them in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes, and then we'll take them out and see what they're like. Okay, so I have the first batch out of the oven now. I'm going to let them, oh no, they're quite cool, so I'm going to take them off very, very quickly before they have a chance to stick. So, I have more in the oven. So here we have a sort of a flower shape. This is the larger one of the same shape, but the definition isn't so clear. That's where I did a double click on the cookie press. These are leaves, almost like a maple leaf. Here we have trees. And another flower, I think. And in the oven, I have some snowflakes. So I'll be back with you with the snowflakes when they come out, by which time these should have cooled enough to taste. Okay, so now they're all out of the oven and they're all on the cooling rack. I've doubled up some of them. These were the last ones which came out, and they're a snowflake, if you can see that. And I've done a quick count, and I did some double ones, remember, but if I count the double ones as 2, then it actually made 74. So to do this, the small size ones, I've got 74 out of them, and I said 72, so that's not a bad estimate. So now let's try one. I'll try one that's had time to cool down a little bit. So I'll try one of these leaves. Yes, they're a very nice shortbread biscuit with a chocolate taste, but it's not an overpowering chocolate taste. The texture is very nice. I'll eat one more. Well, they're very good, I have to say. Now, the cookie press I used was an OXO Good Grips cookie press. I tried another one last week, which didn't seem, either the mixture wasn't right or they didn't seem quite as good as I was expecting, but this one certainly has worked very well. I should be trying some more recipes. So that's it for today. I will apologise if during the course of making this video I was bashing this microphone. It's a new microphone and I'm not quite used to it being there. So if I've been bashing it and hurting your ears, I apologise for that. Join me again soon when I do another video, and in the meantime, happy baking. Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making some chocolate shortbread, but I'm going to be using a cookie press to press them out onto the baking sheets. This is a new cookie press that I'm trying out. It seemed to get a good write-up, so I thought I'd give it a go. Now, for the ingredients, you need 220 grams of plain flour, 170 grams of butter at room temperature, quite soft, 100 grams of sugar, and I'm using golden caster sugar, 30 grams of cocoa powder, 1 egg, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I've put the vanilla extract in with the egg already. So the first thing to do is to, I've also put 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt in the flour. First thing to do is to sift the cocoa powder into the flour, because cocoa powder tends to be quite lumpy and you don't want the lumps